What's going on, Canes fans? We are back with another RNG interview, a recruit interview. This time we've got with us a very special offensive lineman, 2024 four-star Eddie Tuerk from LaGrange, Illinois. He plays for Lyons Township High School. What's up, Eddie? How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. Doing great. Did I get your last name right there?
You said Turk, right?
Yeah?
Yeah, that's correct, Turk.
Okay. I always like to make sure I get that right. I hate messing up names, you know?
No, you're good.
Well, I always like to start off with, what's your current height and weight right now?
My height is 6'4". My weight is, I'm kind of like, say the median is probably like 280. Like sometimes I'm a little above, sometimes I'm a little under, but right now I'm probably sitting at 280, like nice lean 280.
Have you had your wingspan measured?
Um, I think it's like 76 something or a little over 76 inches.
Is there an ideal playing weight that you have that you feel you perform your best at?
Like that I have performed my best at, or that I will.
That you will feel you could perform your best at?
I think probably. I mean, like this year, like my senior season, I think I'm probably it's gonna be my best season playing both ways, and but I think sitting at like 280, 285 is gonna be like pretty good for this upcoming year, and like still putting on muscle mass and still staying fast, but I think like right now I'm good at like 280, 285, and I don't think there's any rush to put on weight or lose weight right now, just based on my body type.
Yeah, gotcha. So this off season, what has been the focus as far as refining technique for you? Where have you really wanted to take your game to a higher level?
I've really wanted to kind of like get put on like speed and agility, as well as putting on like 20 25 pounds since past off season, but staying lean. Like I've stayed at the same, like I think I've even lost body fat, but and I put on like 20 pounds, but just putting on like a ton of muscle, and just to be able to be like as dominant as I can next season. But all like position wise, like O line, I mean, just like refining the small stuff in the pass rush, or in the pass set. D line, because I play both ways. Just like refining the pass rush, and getting down, the hand fighting, and staying fresh and all that stuff. But just like refining the little stuff in like the pass pro and pass rush, because it's easy to be a big body and fill up gaps and knock people over, but like to stay agile and do that stuff is what I was really trying to refine.
I've had the chance to speak with a Miami alumni and former NFL offensive lineman Eric Winston, and we always talk about recruits, and he knows I interview and stuff.
Sorry, can you repeat what you just said? My phone just like connected to my car, so I didn't just hear that last part.
Yeah, I'll re-ask the question, no problem. I have had the chance to speak with Eric Winston. He's a Miami Hurricanes alumni, former NFL player, former NFL offensive lineman. Were you able to hear me?
Yeah, I think my phone just connected back, so.
Okay. Were you able to hear the part about Eric Winston, or you want me to start that over?
No, I wasn't. Sorry.
Okay, no problem. Like I said, I've spoken with Eric Winston multiple times. He's a Miami Hurricanes alumni. Played in the NFL on the offensive line. He was also the NFL NFL Players Association president. He did a lot of things there. One of his biggest things for me was when I'm talking with recruits, especially with recruits in the trenches. He said foot speed is a huge deal. Especially that's what a lot of college coaches like to see. What do you do to train your foot speed?
I do a lot of like agility stuff, like And it like when I'm working D line, it kind of comes like natural, like when you're doing like the hoop drills. And but I do a lot of like ladders, like especially because I'm throwing shot put right now, and our coach likes to in like not just like the lifts, but he likes to integrate a lot of like plyos and agility stuff to combat with like the heavy lifting. But like a lot of plyos and like jumping, doing all that stuff, like especially with my trainer. But plyos, just footwork drills, agility stuff.
Anything you do for balancing or leverage training?
Um, like for O line,
Yeah, for O-line. Yeah, yeah.
um, I do a lot of like I don't know, like specifically leverage training, but like I know like I do a lot of core work, and I know like uh, you know having a stable core helps a
Yeah.
lot with like leverage and
Yep.
you know being able to move guys with your body. And but just a lot of like stuff refining like the pass rush and the steps you take in that.
You talked about, wanting to add good weight, there's the good weight and bad weight, of course. But what has the weight room focus been for you? You said that you have added some muscle there. Where have you focused that area on mostly?
um I think I've focused like a lot in the lower body.
Okay.
Like my squats gone up a ton, and um as well, like I mean, like I put on ton of weight to my bench also, just like just grinding every day, and doing the reps that are needed to you know put on the muscle mass and in an efficient way. But like a lot of power cleans also,
Yeah.
and doing like moving weight through space, and not just like doing reps, but like doing stuff that keeps you mobile, and like such as the power clean and that stuff.
Are you working with any trainers right now?
Um, right now I'm kind of in between, like working with because I'm throwing shot put right now, and the past couple of months I've been lifting like every day after school with the throwers program. And the head coach for that is also my O line coach. Uh, um, so there's not really a lot of wasted time in there. But on days that like we wouldn't get like a heavy lift in, or do a full workout, I'd work out with this place that I've been going there since like freshman or sophomore year, when my other trainer moved to Arizona. But it's a place called Base in LaGrange. And but like since like sixth grade until like freshman or sophomore year, when my old trainer Mike Donato, like he trained like JJ McCarthy, JJ Rolder, a lot of these guys. But um, yeah, I've been staying consistent. You know, on the I'll be sometimes going over to base, but a lot of the times I'm just um, you know training right now with with like the guys in the throwing program and that stuff.
Yep. Gotcha. How did this last high school season go for your team?
It went really well. We even though we lost in the quarterfinals to Loyola Academy, who won state, I think we did amazing, like as a team, and we had great senior leaders. And um, like our three losses were to three out of the four teams in the semifinals. And in each of those games we easily could have won, just small mistakes like penalties, guys just doing the wrong thing, but like when you're playing 8A football in Illinois, like the most competitive there is, especially up front, like there's not many mistakes to be had, and it just gets really competitive, and but like this past year, I thought we had probably our best season as a program, and we're just building on that. I think this year we have a chance to go on and win conference and win state, and we do. I think we have like last year we had probably the best conference in the state with two of those teams making it to the semifinals in the 8A playoffs, but we're just building on what we started last year in the past couple of years, but we have a pretty young team coming back, a lot of seniors, so it's great.
It sounds like you guys definitely faced off against some serious talent than last year. So that's kind of, that's a positive thing for your team.
And a lot of there's a lot of other Power 5 recruits. Like, this one kid in our conference committed to Notre Dame. He's an offensive tackle. So going against guys like that, and there's a DN on Loyola who's committed to Michigan. And just going against a lot of great Power 5 talent in Illinois is just like really it's really nice to just refine your craft, and you're kind of ready for the next level at that point because you've been going against great talent and big bodies.
Who is your guys' biggest rival high school?
I think historically, like it's always been Hinsdale Central. We beat them and they're like just like 5 minutes from our height from LT. It's a pretty short bus ride, but that's kind of the whole point of the rivalry, like a kind of cross county, like we're Cook County, they're DuPage County, but it's so close. And but we beat them for the first time in like 9 or 10 years this past year, and at home, and being from such a big high school, like we had our student section like storm the field, and like that game was sold out, like just packed with a ton of like little kids also, that the future of LT. And but this year I think we'll probably go in, and we play them at home again for some reason, but we'll probably go in, and they weren't too great last year.
We lost him. We lost you just for a sec there.
It like lagged for a bit. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, but this year we should be able to beat them pretty well. But York High School, like they've kind of beat us the past couple of years, and this year, I think we should have beat them last year, but this year, like they've kind of been like, not historically our rivals, but these past couple of years and growing up, like, you like growing up and playing youth football, like you play the same guys, and like they've always been kind of a team that, we've always hated. But I think this year, like York and Hinsdale are kind of our big rivals.
And this is just for you here. What traits do you feel make an elite offensive lineman, mentally and physically?
I think mentally, like a guy that is able to like get things done when a coach like tells him to do something. Like you can't like play an O-line, like each coach is going to have his own different ways of running the ball and blocking, and you like if you're not following what he's doing, then you're not going to succeed as a team. But like you have to be like really gritty, especially like playing every single play. Like it's not like D-line where sometimes guys rotate, but you have to play every single play, and really like put your face in the dirt, and put guys in the ground, but physically, like you have to, like I said, like you can't be sluggish. Like you always, like, especially if if you're not the biggest O lineman, like you gotta beat the D lineman, and the snap count, so you have to be quick off the ball, and get your hands on the D lineman before he gets his hands on you, and really just be fast and twitchy, and but also able to drive guys 5-10 yards downfield and finish plays. But those are some traits I think are good for O linemen to have, and physically, mentally.
With Miami, when we spoke about earlier, recruiting you for the OL, I'll just let you know the questions I'll ask you will be pertaining about offensive line, so you don't have to worry about the other side. I just didn't want you to get confused with that,
All right, yeah.
Who are some of your, or I mean, even if you have a favorite player or favorite players, and why? What do you see in them that you like so much?
I mean, like, is this like favorite? Does it matter position or?
Doesn't matter position, because football can be all about attitude and everything,
I mean, I think like number one probably like Tom Brady, just the way that he carries himself, and but he's a competitor. Like that's all he does is compete, and like if he loses or doesn't get what he wants, like he's always trying to find a way to get what he wants. And like he wasn't like very highly sought after when he was drafted, but it's like he's just like really good at what he does, and just a guy that loves to refine his craft. And coming from a lineman, though, I think and growing up watching the Bears, we had Khalil Mack on the D line, and just kind of watching him just dominate O linemen, and being such a twitchy and fast guy, like growing up playing D line as well as O line. But like Khalil Mack was always a guy that I kind of wanted to model my game around, and just like like he's just a competitor, and loves to play D line and get sacks and stop the ball and stop the run. But Khalil Mack is another guy that I really watch, and growing up I watched.
So I want you to think about this one here when I ask you. It's to describe your game to somebody who has never seen your film. How would you describe that? What kind of player are you?
I like to say that I'm gritty, and because I play both ways. I didn't really come off the field last year. I really like to compete, and if like I'm always, I'd say like I'm always the first off the ball on the D line, and twitchy, and but also can switch to O line, and uh and lock up the DNs, and get out there, and in pass pro, and but also drive guys to the ground when I'm when I'm run blocking. But just like honestly on the O line, like I can put my hand in the dirt, and run block, and finish through blocks 5-10 yards downfield, but also pass set when we're trying to go deep, and give our quarterback nice time in the pocket.
Yeah, I noticed you can definitely handle pass and the rush, pass rush and handling the run game that you guys want to do. I noticed you do a very good job of sealing the outside when you're playing on offensive line and stuff for your running backs. They really follow the holes that you make often, I noticed in your film.
Yeah, and just that also kind of goes with, some of the attributes that I've learned playing D line, just like, because when you're playing D end and you gotta seal the edge, it's almost the same thing when you're trying to get to the opposite shoulder of the D end, and in the rollout, in our rollout passes, and as well as you know our outside runs. But um you know especially playing D line, you got to be quick off the ball, and that's one thing that I transferred to playing O line, is just being quick off the ball and being able to get to that guy's outside shoulder.
You're going to be stepping into more of a leadership type role this upcoming season. How do you plan to show that leadership? Is it vocal, by actions, or a little bit of both?
I think I do a lot of my leadership just like by my actions, and how I work in the weight room, and I think a lot of guys, like especially young guys, like to follow what I do, but also being able to hype guys up, because I'm going to be a captain this year, and you have to be able to put some spirit into some guys, and really make them want to play the game of football. And you have to have strong connections with guys also, like on a personal level. Like, you can't go out there and play like 100 snaps with someone else, but you don't like hang out on the weekends, or you don't share any values. But you have to just like being a great teammate, and vocal, but also just leading by example and doing a lot of the small things, like when you're working, and working out and grinding in the off season, but doing all that stuff that no one really sees. And but my teammates will see it, and coaches, but no one from the outside sees it.
Gotcha. So when you play your last snap in high school, when it's all said and done, what do you want to be remembered as for your high school legacy on the football field? What kind of player do you want to be remembered as?
I think ultimately I want to be remembered as just like the greatest competitor. Like, like no one can outwork me on the field, and I'll take that really personally if you think that you can outwork me. And just doing a lot of doing a lot of the little things right in practice, like having great relationships with my coaches and teachers, and just like being someone that like people around the school can look up to me, and just someone that like for years can hopefully be like a role model for younger kids that you know like especially linemen that want to come to LT and go on and play Division I football.
Yeah, I love that answer, man. Love it. Let's hop on over here to recruiting. How are you? Are you enjoying recruiting? Has the process been fun so far?
Yeah, it's been pretty fun, and it's like I've kind of had a longer uh, experience than some people, but um, I got my and developing and playing both sides ultimately this past season has led to some other opportunities like Miami, but also kind of expanding what some other schools have been recruiting me as, like Illinois, Northwestern, who first saw me as a D lineman and now are kind of looking at me on both sides. But like recruiting has been, it's been pretty fun for the most part. And, going on visits with my family, taking game day visits, and establishing relationships with coaches. has just been great. But yeah.
What are some of the biggest factors in recruiting for you when it comes time to choose a college to play at?
I think, you know, the relationship with the position coach and the head coach, you know, are they like making me a priority? Because I don't want to go somewhere where, you know, I'll just be like a number or
Yeah.
just another scholarship guy. But I want to go somewhere where I'm really wanted and where, you know, I can make a difference, like as a leader and you know, on the field, but
So
also
that's
like school and
oh,
um, you know, somewhere where I can better my education and um, you know, get a great degree to go along with playing great football.
absolutely. Absolutely. So that Miami offer, tell us how you found out about it and was it a surprise?
It was pretty much a surprise. Like I didn't have much contact with Miami before like this January, and I kind of woke up like one morning and I was getting all these texts from you know, D Train. I was getting texts from Coach Mirabal, but you know they were like asking me, you know, to call them back and you know, get in touch with them, and they saw my film and you know and really liked it. But you know they basically, so I called them and they I called Coach Smith and um, he told me to call Coach Mirabal and that he really likes my film, and so I called Coach Mirabal and he offered me, and but you know it was pretty much like it was kind of out of nowhere, but like they've been doing a really good job at, you know, establishing a connection with, you know, myself and my family, um, you know, especially not as like they haven't been recruiting me for as much as some of these other schools, but um, they've kind of been trying to make up for that by just like making me a priority.
You know, with head coach Cristobal being an offensive line coach himself, and then having Coach Mirabal there, who's also a fantastic offensive line coach, you know, how does that make an offensive line recruit feel? You know, is it nice to know that your head coach would be, you know, identifying and really focusing on the offensive line?
Yeah, no, it definitely feels great. Like, and it kind of like if it was like a coach who used to be like a quarterback or something. I mean, I don't know if I would have the same appeal because Coach Cristobal and Coach Mirabal like really know what they're talking about as, you
Yeah.
know, coaches and as recruiters, and like I like I think that they're very good at, you know, picking out talent, and you know, from what they've told me, like they really want to coach me as an offensive lineman, and you know, they've said like they could recruit me as a D lineman and then switch me to an O lineman, but that's not who they are. And they like coming from like straight from Coach Cristobal's, you know, mouth, and like him being an O lineman, or you know, him used to being an O lineman and coaching O line, and um, you know, telling me that, you know, they really want to develop me as an O lineman because they see my potential,
Yep.
is really like great to hear. But yeah.
Cristobal recently mentioned that he wants young players to get chances to earn snaps and get playing time. Is that something that's important to you when you're looking at a college? Is chances for early playing time?
That's definitely something I'm looking at. You know, especially like a coach that can develop me, you know, like
Yeah.
to have that playing time, you know, that opportunity, but in, you know, being a priority and you know, like if you feel like you're a priority, you know, it definitely, I think that'll contribute to, you know, how you perform and, you know, how much like time the coaches are going to spend with you. And, but, you know, I definitely want to get on that field as soon as possible. And, seeing guys like Samson and Francis who are, you know, who will be playing, you know, roles and,
Yeah.
as true freshmen. And it's motivating to, it's motivating to know that, you know, a school like Miami is playing young guys and, you know, are willing to, you know, put new blood on the field.
Yep. It's all about playing the best talent regardless of age. You want
Yep.
the best players on the field getting the most snaps. Absolutely. I've got 3 words for you here, and I want to know what they mean to you after I say them. Miami Hurricanes football. What do those 3 words mean to you, Eddie?
I mean, I think it means uh, like just like a strong winning culture. Like they've won championships in the past to prove that they can be successful in the future. Um, and you know, having guys like a lot of the guys on the coaching staff are, you know, have been like involved in those championships. Um, but just like a winning culture, is that's kind of what it means to me.
This is a part of the interview where I like to give recruits a chance to give a shout out to, any coaches, trainers, family, anybody who's helped you develop, on and off the field as a young man. Go ahead and give them a shout out, show them some love.
Um, I like to shout out Mike Donato. You know, the first guy that ever kind of, developed my body. Like, you know, I started training with him in 6th grade, and, he moved to Arizona though. But, um, you know, great guy. Developed me as a person, also as a man. Um, you know, all the trainers at base, Steve Gray, um, my head coach John Butcher. But you know, just those are all, you know, fantastic coaches and role models that, I've been lucky to, you know, be around, and I've been lucky to, you know, have them develop me.
Absolutely. Go ahead and let fans know where they can find you on social media. If it's an Instagram, Twitter, what are your accounts?
Yeah, my Twitter is, at Eddie Tuerk 78, and, my Instagram is Eddie.Turk. Um, that's kind of, you know, all I have. Instagram, Twitter.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. Well, I got one last question for you here, Eddie, and I'll let you get going. It's a question I ask every single recruit that I've brought on, and I will ask every single one going forward as well. Why do you love the game of football? Where do you get that passion to go out and compete at such an elite level on a weekly basis?
Um, I mean, I think, um, number one, uh, like I didn't really care about football too much until like 3rd grade when I signed up to play, and, like I realized, you know, I was never gonna touch the football, and, but I just loved to go out there, and, you know, my first ever coach was, uh, Coach King, who, he's passed away now, but, you know, he was the first ever coach that I who made me really love football, and, um, like just a great guy who, uh, you know, made me also, um, you know, like he helped like develop, you know, friendships with guys who, you know, I've been playing football with, you know, the same teammates that I have been playing with since like 3rd grade, and
Yeah.
just going out there, and like it's not hard to play 100% when like you're playing for like the same guys that you've always been playing for, and, you're working towards like the same common goal. But like it's not hard to go out there and give it your all when like you're with guys that you love and with teammates that you love and guys that you'd like sacrifice your body for. That's what you're doing every single week.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I love that answer, man. I love that answer. Kind of speaks to the brotherhood of football and how much you admire it, Well, Eddie, man, I just want to thank you for taking some time out here, letting Canes fans and other fans that'll be watching this get a little more familiar with you. We've been trying to get something worked out. We finally got a chance to get it to work out this day, so
Yeah,
I'm glad
it worked out for you.
Yeah, I'm glad that we were able to finally get that time together. Sometimes with different time zones, it can be a little messy, but
Yeah.
we'll make it work out. But as far as everything goes, I would definitely love to have you back on in the future. When we can speak more about your development and how your season went and how recruiting's going and stuff. So definitely want to stay in touch and be able to keep Canes fans informed on your recruitment.
Yeah, sounds great.
All right, Eddie, you have yourself a great night, and I'll speak to you soon.
You too. Have a great night. Thanks for having me.
No problem. All right, guys, that was 2024 four-star offensive lineman / defensive lineman Eddie Tuerk from LaGrange, Illinois. His high school is Lyons Township High School. He made it very clear, the staff at Miami is seeing him as an offensive lineman. I don't know if they're looking at him at interior or at offensive tackle. I wish I would have asked him that, honestly. I don't know why I didn't. But that's something that I can ask him behind the scenes here. But, with Mirabal being in touch with him, with Cristobal being in touch with him, Coach Dennis Smith, it fosters a lot of these relationships in between things anyways. So, fosters those relationships at multiple positions. So I'm excited to hear that we are, it sounds like we weren't in contact with him as much as we wanted, or at least he wanted us to be for a little while, but it sounds like we're making that up. And he said a word to me that caught my attention, and he said it sounded like Miami was kind of trying to prioritize him or make him a priority. That is such a vital word in the recruiting game. Priority or prioritize. Anytime a recruit feels that way, it's a different feeling from a school. They feel completely different, because that's love right there. Honestly, that's love and respect from the school, because you can't really give more than that, especially to a recruit who, he not even a Miami Hurricane yet or anything, but that's about as far as you can get with the love and respect aspect for it. So I was so glad to hear from that, because this is a player that is going to make a lot of noise, I believe, during his senior season. And just be on the lookout, guys. Hopefully I'll have him back on in the future. We'll be able to update his recruitment and all that stuff. But man, I appreciate you guys tuning in. Once again, this is a RNG recruit breakdown. This is with the 2024 four-star offensive lineman Eddie Tuerk out of Illinois. Just thank you guys for tuning in.